Attorney Sanjeev Din takes on case of Nadiria James pro bono. Newsroom reports. Attorney Sanjeev Din has stepped forward to represent 19-year-old Nadiria James free of charge, citing a belief that she has a credible case of self-defense in the fatal stabbing of her boyfriend, 20-year-old minor Kevin Smith. James appeared virtually before Magistrate Rabindranath Singh at the Port Kaituma Magistrates Court on Tuesday, facing murder charges, and is currently remanded to prison. Her next court appearance is scheduled for October 14, 2025. In an interview with the Newsroom, Din explained that he agreed to take the case after a conversation with James. He noted that she is unfamiliar with the court system and has no support from her immediate family, which prompted her to seek his assistance. She asked if I would help her, that she really needed assistance, and I agreed to do it. I agree to help her in every way I can, Din stated. According to police reports, the incident occurred on September 18 when James returned to the camp she shared with Smith in Parliamentary, Northwest District, after consuming alcohol. It is alleged that Smith armed himself with a cutlass and struck James on the left shoulder and right hand. In response, James reportedly drew a handmade knife from her waist and stabbed Smith once in the chest. Smith subsequently stumbled out of the camp and collapsed in nearby bushes, where he was later pronounced dead. While Din emphasized that the circumstances appear to support a self-defense claim, he acknowledged the necessity of following the legal process. As the trial progresses, witnesses will provide testimony, and the magistrate will determine whether there is sufficient evidence for James to stand trial in the High Court. It's a difficult one, but from what she told me, I think it's a fair case. She needs to be represented carefully, properly. I hope the process won't be lengthy and that she will have a speedy trial, Din expressed. If the magistrate finds insufficient evidence, James could be freed. Otherwise, she will face a high court trial before a judge and jury. Public dispute erupts within Forward Guyana movement. News source Guyana reports. A public row has erupted between the Forward Guyana movement's partners, particularly involving the Vigilant Political Action Committee, VPAC. VPAC accuses Forward Guyana leader Amanza Walton-Desir of violating a pre-election agreement to rotate a parliamentary seat. Following the recent general and regional elections, Forward Guyana secured just one seat, which Walton-Desir is expected to occupy for 3 years, leaving VPAC out of the rotation. Walton-Desir publicly addressed allegations of bullying and threats against her, emphasizing her commitment to strong female leadership and rejecting intimidation. In response, VPAC stated that it entered the coalition in good faith, expecting equal rotation of seats among the three parties. They claimed Walton-Desir disregarded this agreement, consolidating power for herself and sidelining VPAC. VPAC insisted that the parliamentary seat belongs to the coalition as a whole and vowed to fight for their rightful share of representation, demanding honesty and inclusivity in leadership. Guyana Police Force welcomes 109 new ranks at graduation ceremony. The Guyana Police Force proudly welcomed 109 new ranks during a significant graduation ceremony held at the Officers Training Center, Eve Leary. This event marked the culmination of 6 months of intense training and the beginning of a noble journey for the graduates. Deputy Commissioner Administration, Mr. Ravindranath Budram, delivered the keynote address, commending the resilience and commitment of the new officers. He emphasized the importance of courage and compassion in their roles, stating, "Every challenge is an opportunity to grow and learn. Remember, it is not about being perfect. It's about being committed to serving and protecting our country with integrity and compassion." Apprentice Navin Prasad was honored as the course valedictorian, recognized for his exemplary discipline and perseverance throughout the training. The Best Student Award was shared among several graduates. Constable Adams, Course 395. Apprentice Prasad, Course 396. Constable Andrew, Course 397. And Woman Constable Daniels, Course 398. Additionally, the Best Classroom Award was presented to Constables Teixeira, Mongol, Haynes, and Woman Constable Khan, while the Best Drill Award went to Constables Harcourt, December, Edwards, and Woman Constable Abrams. The ceremony was attended by notable figures, including Woman Senior Superintendent Dr. Nicola Kendall, Woman Superintendent Leslyn Smith, and Senior Superintendent Bharat Prasad, along with other senior and junior officers, family members, and special invitees. This graduation not only marks a milestone for the new ranks, but also reinforces the Guyana Police Force's commitment to developing a dedicated and compassionate police service. Report by Juanita Samuels. Photos by Jermaine Anderson. Fire destroys two-story house in Crabwood Creek, leaving family of 9 homeless. A fire this morning has devastated a two-story house in Crabwood Creek, Region 6, East Burbus Quarantine, rendering a family of 9 homeless. Among those affected are 7 children aged 15, 14, 8, 7, 5, 3, and 2. At approximately 11:30 a.m., Shaniza Yusuf, a cancer patient, and her children were at home when the incident occurred. Yusuf recounted that she was in a hammock in the yard when her 15-year-old alerted her to the smell of smoke. Upon investigating, she discovered smoke coming from the fuse box in the upper flat of the house. "I just told my kids to run because the fire started upstairs. I didn't get to save anything, just a couple of papers. That's all," she said, visibly shaken. Yusuf expressed her distress, noting that all of her children's school items were destroyed in the fire. Investigations into the cause of the fire are ongoing. Statement from the Ministry of Labor and Manpower Planning, Guyana on strike action by Bosai workers. Following reports of strike action by workers of the Bosai Bauxite Mining Company in Linden, the Ministry of Labor and Manpower Planning engaged with both the company's management and representatives from the National Association of Agricultural, Commercial and Industrial Employees, NACI. A meeting chaired by Chief Labor Officer Mr. Dhaneshwar Dionarine addressed several issues and proposals aimed at ending the strike action. As a result, a terms of resumption was executed today, with the following key points. The union shall call off the strike with immediate effect. The union commits to ensuring full resumption of work by all employees on September 26, 2025. There shall be no victimization by either party, and the status quo ante shall remain. Both parties will meet at the Ministry of Labor to commence conciliation on Monday, September 29, 2025. The upcoming conciliation meeting aims to bring all issues that led to the strike to the forefront, with the goal of reaching a fair and amicable resolution for all involved. The Ministry of Labor and Manpower Planning is committed to fostering a harmonious industrial relations climate and appreciates the constructive steps taken by both parties to resolve the situation and pursue conciliation in good faith. Construction worker charged with possession of narcotics for trafficking, remanded to prison. Alam Farid, a 38-year-old construction worker from Riverton, East Burbus, has been charged with possession of narcotics for the purpose of trafficking. Farid was apprehended on September 22, 2025, at US-Guyana, Essequibo Coast, with 584 grams of cannabis in his possession. He appeared before Magistrate Ravindra Mohabir at the Sudhi Magistrates Court on September 25, 2025, where the charge was read to him. Farid pleaded not guilty to the charges. Bail was denied, and he has been remanded to prison. The case has been adjourned to October 17, 2025, for further proceedings. Missing Golden Grove man found dead near home. Kaider News reports, Dwayne Quasey Robertson, a 45-year-old father of 6, was found dead just days after being reported missing in Golden Grove, East Coast Demerara. His body was discovered at the Nabaklis Sideline Dam, concealed in high grass. Robertson was last seen on Sunday evening, and his family reported him missing the following day. His sister, Tamika Glasgow, described him as acting strangely before he vanished, mentioning he had fallen and hit his head earlier that night. Despite searching various locations based on reports from others, his family found him at a spot that seemed easily accessible during their earlier searches. Glasgow noted that his body appeared placed there, with signs of trauma and money still in his hand. She also revealed that Robertson had been threatened by a local man, raising concerns about the police's lack of action despite previous reports of these threats. Regional Commander Kali Pershram stated that the police are investigating the case. Fisherman charged with child rape, granted bail. Norvin O'Neill, a 20-year-old fisherman from Westbury, Essequibo, has been charged with the offense of rape of a child under the age of 16 years. The alleged crime involved a Guyanese female of mixed ancestry and occurred between March 1, 2024 and May 21, 2024. The case was heard on September 23, 2025, at the Anna Regina Magistrates Court before Magistrate Ravindra Mohabir. During the proceedings, the charge was read to Anil, who was not required to enter a plea. The prosecutor objected to bail. However, the magistrate granted bail in the amount of $500,000. Conditions of the bail include that O'Neill must report to the Charity Police Station every other Friday and have no contact with the victim pending trial. The case has been adjourned to October 13, 2025, for further proceedings. Woman lives in fear after alleged sexual assault and continued harassment. Kaider News, Omiana Mars, a makeup artist from Sandvort Village, is living in fear after being sexually assaulted by Jamal Lafleur, a family acquaintance. Despite reporting the incident to law enforcement, she feels neglected as Lafleur continues to harass her after being acquitted due to inconsistencies in witness statements. Mars described the assault, which occurred after she returned home one night. Lafleur entered her room while she was preparing for bed and assaulted her while her niece was present. After a struggle, he escaped, leaving behind evidence that was submitted to the police. Despite this, Lafleur was found not guilty, leading Mars to lose faith in the justice system. Recently, he returned to her home, taunting her and provoking her family. She has reported these incidents to the police but feels no action has been taken. Now considering a restraining order, Mars remains uncertain about her safety and the effectiveness of the legal protections available to her. Essequibo laborer charged with simple larceny. Granted bail. Alvin Tucker, a 34-year-old laborer from Henrietta on the Essequibo coast, was charged with simple larceny in connection with an incident involving Rakesh Samaru, a 48-year-old businessman from Cotton Field. Tucker appeared in the Sudhi Magistrates Court on September 25, 2025, before Magistrate Ravindra Mohabir. During the proceedings, the charge was read to him, and he pleaded not guilty. Bail was granted in the amount of $50,000, with the condition that Tucker report to the Anna Regina Police Station every other Friday until his trial. The case has been adjourned to November 11, 2025, for further hearing. GRA tax case against Azruddin Mohammed transferred to another court. Acting Chief Magistrate Faith McGusty has transferred the tax case against billionaire Azruddin Mohammed to Court 3, where it will be heard by Magistrate Fabio Azor. Mohammed faces charges of fraudulent declaration and tax evasion related to the importation of a luxury vehicle in 2020, as alleged by the Guyana Revenue Authority, GRA. The chief magistrate stated she would not preside over the trial due to her existing caseload. The case is set for a report on October 3, 2025, when the new magistrate may schedule a case management conference to establish a trial date. Mohammed is accused of falsely declaring the vehicle's value as $75,300 instead of the actual price of $695,000, allegedly evading over $380 million in local taxes. He maintains his innocence. Balancing the badge and the books. Inspector Michael Sutton's journey to law. What began as hopes and aspirations has become a remarkable reality for Inspector Michael Sutton. Once a dreamer aspiring to become a lawyer, Sutton has now completed his Bachelor of Laws, LLB, at the University of Guyana, achieving a commendable grade point average of 3.2. He has been accepted into the Hugh Wooding Law School in Trinidad and Tobago to pursue the Legal Education Certificate, LEC, setting him on the path to becoming an attorney at law. Raised by a single mother who valued education, Sutton's journey has been both challenging and inspiring. He joins the new cohort of students for the 2025/2026 academic year, ready to take on the next chapter in his academic and professional life. Sutton's dedication to excellence shines through his achievements. It was a teacher at my secondary school who told my mother that I was a dunce. From that moment on, I was determined to prove that teacher wrong, he shared. In addition to his law degree, he holds a bachelor's degree in international relations with distinction and is fluent in 4 languages. Since enlisting in the Guyana Police Force on March 9, 2016, Sutton has served in the Tactical Services Unit, TSU, as an inspector. His responsibilities include maintaining discipline and order, overseeing ranks, and addressing the welfare needs of his team. As he advances in his studies, Sutton hopes to inspire both young and seasoned officers to pursue their dreams. He believes his educational achievements can help bridge the gap between the police, the law, and the community. This degree is not just my degree. It will be used to give back to the public. I took the oath to serve and protect, he remarked. The Commissioner of Police, the Executive Leadership Team, ELT, and fellow ranks of the Guyana Police Force extend their best wishes to Inspector Sutton as he ascends to new heights. Congratulations to an officer who dared to dream and achieved his goals. Firearm and ammunition found during police operation at Melanie. 2 men were arrested today during a police operation at the Seaview Hotel in Melanie, East Coast Demerara, after an unlicensed 9mm pistol and 10 matching rounds of ammunition were discovered in their hotel room. Incident details. Police acted on information received from a female victim who reported being assaulted with a handgun by one Kevin James. Following the report, officers arrived at the hotel between 10:30 and 11:15 a.m. Upon seeing the police vehicle, 2 males on the hotel's western veranda attempted to flee inside. Backup was requested, and additional police units responded. Officers equipped with body cameras searched rooms number 12 and number 13 based on intelligence received, but no evidence was found. The suspects later exited room number 14 with their hands raised. The suspects were identified as Jamal Kevin James, 25, a carpenter from South Ruimveldt, Georgetown; Samuel Brown, 18, from Kuru Kuru, Soesdijk-Linden Highway. After informing them about the allegations regarding firearm possession, police sought and obtained permission to search their room. During the search, the 9mm pistol and 10 rounds of ammunition were found concealed in the toilet bowl of the bathroom. Both suspects were questioned regarding firearm licenses, to which they responded negatively. Kevin James claimed ownership of the weapon. They were subsequently arrested and taken to the Cove and John Police Station, where they are currently assisting with the investigation. President urges diaspora to return and invest in Guyana. President Irfan Ali, in New York for the UN General Assembly, encouraged Guyanese abroad to return home and explore investment opportunities as part of the country's development plan. He assured them that the government will create an environment to protect their investments. Speaking to the Guyanese diaspora, President Ali emphasized that Guyana is ready to welcome them back, whether permanently or for investment and mentorship. He noted that many have already begun returning to invest and that systems are being put in place to facilitate this transition. The president highlighted the importance of the diaspora as partners in Guyana's transformation and promised to keep them informed about upcoming investment opportunities. He invited skeptics to visit and witness the ongoing development, stating, "Guyana today is not the Guyana of yesterday. We are a land of opportunities." The Foreign Affairs Ministry has established a special diaspora unit to assist those looking to return and invest. More than $61 million worth of cannabis found and destroyed by police. In a successful narcotics eradication exercise conducted earlier today, police recovered approximately $62 million worth of cannabis at Lowood, Demerara River. During the operation, they also seized an unlicensed 12-gauge shotgun. The police team discovered a plot of land measuring about 1 acre, which contained approximately 1,500 cannabis plants ranging in height from 2 to 5 feet. A makeshift camp and drying area, measuring about 20 by 20 feet, was located nearby, containing around 150 pounds of dried cannabis. Further searches in the surrounding vegetation led to the discovery of a 12-gauge shotgun, lacking a serial number, hidden in a bag within a clump of bushes. All cannabis plants, the drying area, and the camp were destroyed by fire during the exercise, which was conducted without incident. Valuation of narcotics destroyed. Narcotic plants, $508,200. Dried cannabis, $61,234,920. Total value, $61,743,120. Guyana and U.S. strengthen cooperation on trade and security. President Irfan Ali met with U.S. Secretary of State Marco Rubio in New York during the UN General Assembly to discuss enhancing trade relations and regional security. Both countries have existing agreements on national security, energy security, and investment. Recently, they have focused on combating drug trafficking and gun running in the region. The leaders emphasized the importance of their strategic partnership in addressing narcoterrorism and transnational crime, while also discussing challenges in the hemisphere, including issues in Haiti and Cuba. The U.S. remains a key trade ally for Guyana, with ongoing bilateral trade talks aimed at reaching mutually beneficial agreements. Secretary Rubio reaffirmed U.S. support for Guyana's territorial integrity and collaboration with the Guyana Defense Force to strengthen counter-narcotics efforts. He also praised Guyana's support for a UN mission in Haiti and congratulated President Ali on his re-election, highlighting the need for continued security and economic collaboration. Government engages millers on paddy prices. Agriculture Minister Zulfikar Mustafa met with millers to address fluctuating paddy prices amid the ongoing second crop, expected to yield over 800,000 tons. Farmers are seeking government intervention for better pricing. Minister Mustafa highlighted the GRDB's monitoring of global rice trends and emphasized the government's efforts to lower production costs, including a $2 billion investment in fertilizer for 2025. While global rice markets face competition, particularly from India, some millers expressed concerns about rising production costs affecting their pricing structures. Mustafa committed to collaborating with stakeholders for immediate and long-term solutions. President Dr. Mohammad Irfan Ali also met with rice farmers, noting that external pressures from major producers like India are impacting local prices. He announced plans for modern storage facilities to enhance resilience in the sector. Police investigation into Lolita shooting ongoing. No arrests made. Newsroom. The investigation into the shooting of social media personality Lolita Calendarer, known as Lolita, is active, with no suspects currently in custody. Police confirmed that Calendarer is in stable condition and improving after being shot multiple times on September 6, 2025, while in her car outside her home in East Ruimveldt, Georgetown. A lone gunman on a motorcycle attacked her, hitting her in the neck, face, hands, and leg. 2 suspects were briefly detained but later released without charges. One was released on bail while the other, Paul Davey Jr., surrendered and was questioned before being released. The motive for the shooting remains unclear. VPAC Guyana accuses Walton Desser of betrayal, dishonesty, and bullying. The Vigilant Political Action Committee, VPAC, has launched a blistering attack on Amanza Walton Desser, accusing her of dishonesty, opportunism, and betrayal within the Forward Guyana Movement, FGM, coalition. In a strongly worded statement, VPAC said Walton Desser has proven beyond doubt that she is unfit to lead conversations about inclusivity, while allegedly practicing the same politics of division she often condemns. The coalition, comprising VPAC and 2 other partners, was founded on principles of trust, collective governance, and rejection of racial hostility. According to VPAC, an agreement was made that parliamentary seats secured by the alliance would be rotated equally among the 3 groups. However, VPAC claims Walton Desser violated that agreement by keeping 60% of the seat allocation for herself, handing 40% to Nigel London, and excluding VPAC entirely. That is not leadership. That is theft, the group charged. The statement went further, accusing Walton Desser and London of refusing to denounce a blatantly racist public comment. When pressed, VPAC alleges Walton Desser went silent before taking to Facebook to falsely claim she had been threatened by VPAC members. That was a lie. A deliberate, malicious lie, the group said, describing Walton Desser's response as an attempt to weaponize her gender and portray accountability as an attack on a woman. While noting that VPAC had consistently supported Walton Desser as a female leader, The group claims she bullied coalition partners, sidelined allies, and treated the movement as her personal property. Now, when caught red-handed refusing to confront racism, she hides behind her skirt and plays the victim, VPAC said. That is not leadership. It is cowardice dressed up as feminism. The group insists that the parliamentary seat belongs to the coalition as a whole and pledged to fight for its rightful share of representation. VPAC will not apologize for demanding honesty, inclusivity, and real leadership, the statement continued. And we will not condone racism by anyone, whether junior staff or senior leadership. The statement concluded with a direct warning. Amanza Waltendesser has been exposed for her bullying, her dishonesty, her opportunism, and her betrayal. She cannot hide from the truth. President addresses Venezuela's threats to Guyana at UN General Assembly. In his address to the UN General Assembly, President Irfan Ali highlighted ongoing threats from Venezuela regarding territorial claims, despite the border dispute being before the International Court of Justice, ICJ. He noted that Venezuela has intensified its aggression through unilateral laws and threats of annexation, undermining international law and the UN Charter. Ali emphasized the importance of sovereignty and territorial integrity, asserting that Guyana remains committed to resolving the issue peacefully and will not be intimidated. He expressed gratitude for the support from international partners and called on the UN to firmly oppose global aggression. Additionally, the president addressed key issues such as food security, climate change, and poverty, urging for open discussions on the situations in Haiti and the embargo on Cuba, advocating for peace and stability in those regions. President challenges world leaders on climate action at UN. Addressing the UN General Assembly, President Irfan Ali urged world leaders to take decisive action against climate change. He emphasized the need for unified global efforts to limit warming, highlighting Guyana's initiatives in protecting forests, enhancing flood defenses, and restoring ecosystems. President Ali showcased Guyana's Low-Carbon Development Strategy 2030, which aligns economic growth with environmental stewardship, and noted the country's achievement as the first to be certified under the REDD+ Environmental Excellence Standard. He called for the international community to provide consistent climate finance to support adaptation and nature-based solutions. As 2025 marks a decade since the launch of the Sustainable Development Goals, SDGs, Ali pointed out slow progress and urged renewed global commitment to development financing, highlighting the interconnectedness of ecosystem health and the SDGs. He also referenced the recent Global Biodiversity Alliance Summit, stressing the importance of integrating biodiversity protection into national and financial strategies. Ali reiterated that Guyana aims to balance economic development with environmental responsibility through investments in renewable energy, asserting that while climate change driver charged for dangerous driving, fined $30,000. Budev Singh, a 29-year-old resident of Good Hope, East Coast Demerara, was arrested for dangerous driving on September 22, 2025. He appeared today at the Vigilance Magistrates Court before Senior Magistrate Sunil Scarce, where the charge was formally read to him. Singh, the driver of motor car number PNN 6177, pleaded guilty to the offense of dangerous driving. As a result, he was fined $30,000. GECOM employee charged with larceny, remanded to prison. Dikembe Gittins, a 30-year-old assistant accountant from Onderneming, Parfait Harmony, has been charged with larceny by a clerk or servant in connection with the Guyana Elections Commission, GECOM. Gittins was arrested on September 22, 2025, and appeared before Magistrate Fabio Azor at the Georgetown Magistrates Court today. The charge, which falls under Section 184 of the Criminal Law Offenses Act, pertains to the alleged theft of over $5 million from the GECOM Secretariat located at Barak and Fort Streets in Kingston, Georgetown, between September 15 and 16, 2025. During the court proceedings, Gittins was not required to enter a plea, and bail was refused. The case has been adjourned to October 15, 2025, for further report. Clerk of National Assembly confirms payment options for MPs amid banking issues. Sherlock Isaacs, clerk of the National Assembly, has clarified that members of Parliament, MPs, can receive their salaries either through bank transfers or in cash. This announcement follows the recent closures of bank accounts for several candidates associated with the We Invest in Nationhood, WIN, political party, led by U.S.-sanctioned businessman Azruddin Mohammed, which secured 16 seats in the National Assembly. Isaacs explained, "We pay by bank and we can pay by cash. If I'm told that persons don't have bank accounts, I'll then pay them in cash." He emphasized that it would be the responsibility of the MPs to manage their funds. With its 16 seats, WIN is set to become the main opposition party, with Mohammed expected to be the opposition leader. Isaacs noted that the opposition leader will be elected by opposition members during a dedicated meeting convened by the Speaker of the House. The proposed parliamentary slate for WIN includes notable former APNUAFC ministers, such as Dawn Hastings-Williams, Tabitha Sarabo-Halley, Natasha Singh-Lewis, and Duarte Hetzberger, many of whom have faced account closures due to their ties to sanctioned individuals. Isaacs confirmed that he has received the names of all 65 MPs who will serve in the new assembly. The composition includes the ruling People's Progressive Party Civic, PPP/C, with 36 seats, WIN with 16, a Partnership for National Unity, APNU, with 12, and the Forward Guyana Movement, FGM, with 1. I received the letter from the Chief Elections Officer declaring 65 persons to be members of the National Assembly, Isaacs said, adding that he is awaiting a proclamation from the President to set the date for the first sitting, where members will take their oaths and elect the Speaker. He outlined the process for the first parliamentary session, stating, "According to the standing orders, the first business will be the election of the Speaker. I will conduct the election, asking for nominations and proceeding with the voting." The clerk also highlighted the clerical work ahead, including preparing registers and coordinating with the Accountant General for salary payments. National Assembly clerk awaits presidential proclamation for first sitting. Sherlock Isaacs, the clerk of the National Assembly, confirmed today that he is awaiting a proclamation from the President to schedule the first sitting of the National Assembly. This session will involve the Speaker of the House and members of Parliament taking their oaths of office. The new Parliament will feature 4 parties: the People's Progressive Party, PPP, with 36 seats in government, and the opposition consisting of We Invest in Nationhood, WIN, with 16 seats, a Partnership for National Unity, APNU, with 12 seats, and the Forward Guyana Movement with 1 seat. Isaacs announced that he has received a letter from the Chief Elections Officer listing the elected members of the National Assembly. He emphasized that the proclamation will specify the time, date, and place for the inaugural sitting, during which the members will be sworn in and the Speaker will be elected. Regarding salaries and benefits for members of Parliament, Isaacs noted that his office will accommodate payments in cash for those without bank accounts, particularly members of the WIN party who have faced account closures linked to their leader, Azruddin Mohammed, who is under U.S. sanctions. As long as persons are declared members of the National Assembly by the Elections Commission, they will be paid, either by bank or cash, Isaacs stated. He also mentioned that the budget for the office of the Leader of the Opposition will be transferred to the newly elected opposition leader, who will receive a salary and benefits equivalent to a senior minister in the government. The office will be fully funded, including salaries for its staff. Once the Assembly reconvenes, a briefing session will be held for all members to discuss parliamentary conduct and ensure smooth operations moving forward. Teen with Guyanese heritage dies after being shot in Queens. A 13-year-old boy, Sanjay Griffith Samuel, has died days after being shot in the head while walking to school in Cambria Heights, Queens. The tragic incident occurred around 8:30 a.m. on September 22nd. According to his cousin, Martina Johnson, Sanjay was on his way to school when an unidentified gunman on a motorcycle opened fire near a Dunkin' Donuts on Linden Boulevard. Sanjay, who had Guyanese heritage, was rushed to the hospital and placed on life support. However, doctors reported no brain activity from the time of his admission, and he succumbed to his injuries on Wednesday. "We were hoping for a miracle, but there was no brain activity. They didn't see that they could do anything for him," Johnson told the newsroom. Sanjay had recently started at a new school just 2 weeks prior to the shooting and was set to turn 14 next month. His family plans to hold his funeral on his birthday. Investigations are ongoing to determine if Sanjay was the intended target of the attack, and no arrests have been made yet. He was the youngest child of his mother, a Guyanese-born New Yorker. Sanjay was remembered as a fun-loving boy who enjoyed dancing and dreamed of becoming a basketball player. In a final act of kindness, his family has decided to donate his organs to help others in need.